If you want to heal from whatever you're facing in a faster manner, there is something you might be missing. I'm Dr. Jeff Cumro, and ultimately over the last 15 years, I've worked with over 5,000 patients. And with that, you find some tricks and some things, some patterns that are going to help move forward faster, right? And what I see is a lot of people come in to see us and they're like, okay, the healing is going to happen here in the office. And that's partially true, right? Because without the visit, they're probably not going to heal as quickly or as efficiently. There's something that they're missing. So getting that information is going to get them moving forward. Getting that adjustment is going to help reset that nervous system, reboot the system to where they can actually perform as efficiently as they should. But a lot of times when we look at health, when we look at the activities that drive health specifically, that could actually be a stress on your system, right? So when we adjust people, when we move those joints and get them broken free from that restriction that is in there, it resets the nervous system, right? So it allows for that communication, it allows for that joint to open and close, to get the nutrients in, to push those waste products out. It allows for those muscles to move. It allows for that stimulation to go up to the brain. It allows for all these awesome things, but the adjustment itself actually increases stress just a little bit, much like something else. Exercise. When you go and exercise, you feel that stress, right? Your heart starts beating faster. You start taking those bigger, deeper breaths. You start to get tired. You start to fatigue. You start to feel those muscles burn a little bit. Same type of thing. What happens as you start to do that a little bit more frequently, though? If you're doing things properly, you start to get into shape. If you're doing it improperly, where you're putting in a hard workout, and then the next day you go in and put in another really hard workout, and the next day you put in another really hard workout, what happens? The body starts to break down. Why? Healing doesn't just happen when we're in that little stress. Yes, it does increase the stress that we're under. And when we put our bodies under a little bit of stress, it allows for that growth. It allows for that next level, but we have to have rest and recovery in between. We have to have proper rest and recovery in between. So, it doesn't just mean going and sitting in a chair. That's a totally different animal than what we're talking about in this. In most cases, active rest is better. So after you exercise, what do they tell you? If you have a little soreness tomorrow, what are you going to do? You're going to drink plenty of water. You're going to eat healthy foods, and you're going to move around. Just do some light activity. Get those muscles activated a little, right? Same thing goes with any kind of healing. If we give our bodies that movement to stimulate the muscles and the joints and the brain, if we give ourselves the hydration that we need, if we give ourselves the nutrients that we need, everything works more efficiently, right? It's the same way with chiropractic care. So if we're just getting the chiropractic care and we're not taking care of the nutrition and the sleep and the stress reduction and all those other things on that other side, healing is slowed down. And that's why, we make recommendations. What are some of the great supplements you could take? Almost everybody needs more omega-3 fatty acids. They need magnesium is a big one. Not everybody needs that, but it's a big one. Vitamin D is one almost everybody needs. Probiotics is one almost everybody needs. Why? Because the stresses that we face in our daily life with the chemicals that are in our food, the running around that we do, where we live makes an important factor in this, right? So living here in the Midwest, we don't get as much seafood, especially that cold, like cod and herring and mackerel and those cold water fish that have that high omega-3 content. So we don't have as much of that. We have to supplement with that if we're going to have the right ratios. And when we do that appropriately, it knocks down our inflammation. But in many cases, just doing that alone isn't enough. We still need that stimulation, that adjustment. We still need that exercise. We still need those other things. So we have to have the combination of these. We have to be put under that stress, and then we have to give ourselves the time for appropriate recovery. And I say appropriate recovery because, like I said, a lot of people mistake that for saying, go and sit in the chair. And that's not the case. We want active recovery. We want proper nutrition. We want that hydration. And when we have all of that in there, people tend to heal faster. They tend to do better with care overall. So my question for you is, where does the healing happen? Are you setting yourself up for that healing to happen when it needs to happen? So as always, if you have questions on this, call me, text me, email me, whatever you need to do, let me know. I'm happy to help you through all of this. I want you to get the results that you want. And this is a very, very important part of this. That recovery has to be there because, like I said, when we adjust you, we're actually increasing the stress. for a slight moment. Yes, it is going to decrease that stress response over time, but in that short moment, it is going to increase the stress. We have to have that recovery. We have to have that repair. And if we don't have that, it's going to slow things down. So as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and I will catch you on next week's video.